It's Tuesday the 5th of September 2023 and I've come up to the lakes for a walk to Buttermere, beautiful Buttermere this morning. I've parked here at Hause Point. It's a small recessed parking area. Quite a few cars can park here. And the idea this morning, this thing up here, the idea this morning or today is to do 4 Wainwright, which are new to me. So we'll see how it goes. It's the 4th day of somewhat of an Indian summer. Supposed to get like a mini heat wave, and today temperatures are supposed to get up to about 25, 26 down at ground level, maybe a little cooler up ahead. And this is the first walk I've done for about 3 months. We've had a pretty poor weather, a pretty poor summer weather-wise. And yeah, it hasn't been the best to get out, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a good walk and that my fitness is going to be okay. And I say I'm at Buttermere, but at the moment I'm by the side of Water, and a lot of people here taking advantage to do a bit of a paddle boarding this morning, and this is an absolutely stunning view. But I can't put it off any longer. Across the road here and go up this pitched path, which should lead me up to Buttermere Hause, I believe. So I think with the fitness being somewhat in question, I'll just have to take my time today, especially with the warm conditions which are forecast. Well, I've already gained a bit of height. The parking area is down in the middle of the picture, and this is what I'm looking at behind me, and a lovely view of the top end of Water. And that's the path up ahead. I'm slowly, and I mean slowly, making my way up to what should be the first Wainwright of the day, Rannerdale knots. And this is the first walk I've done in the Lake District as a 70-year-old. So we'll see if I do fare better than I did when I was 69. What a superb view. And what a lovely morning to be looking at it. This is a steep little climb from the off. You haven't time to get your legs going, your lungs working, but just sitting here on the way up, looking across. I think this is Melbrake, another of the Wainwrights, one which I did several years ago. Well, yet another break. I'm not too far from the top now actually. So just a quick rest before I push on. And look at this. scramble here. I'm just at the foot of the final climb up to Rannerdale Knots. This is the view off to my left, and behind, back down over Crummock Water, I think the other body of water in the top middle of the picture is Hause water. There's another little peak off to the left of the path I've come up. That's not the summit, the summit is behind me. And this is the path I've come up to get here. I've just manoeuvred my way to the right of this little crag here. I don't think this is the summit, but I shall go up there just in case. Oh. According to the guide writer Mark Richards, there's a cairn on top of the summit. Well, there isn't here. It looks like the makings of a little one over there, so we'll go over there after. And his view is that the views here are to die for, well, out of this world, his words, and I can't say I disagree. Not a bad view at all. So, off to the summit. And here we are, Rannerdale Knots summit. So there we have it, that's Rannerdale Knots, 1,165 feet, and the first Wainwright of the day. Now I've just got to make my way across the ridge and start the climb up onto Whiteless Pike. That's a nice view down into the valley there. I would imagine the route up to Whiteless Pike is just about here in the middle of the picture. That seems to be where the path turns. We shall see. Oh, well, that was an interesting little scramble down there. 3 points of contact most of the way. One of those points of contact was in my backside. All lots of fun. I'm just passing high above the bottom end of Crummock Water, and Buttermere Lake has now come into view just ahead on the right. It's a little hazy this morning, unfortunately, so you don't get the absolute best of the views. I've just nipped off the path a little way to film the valley down here. I'm just wondering if this up here is Whiteless Pike, in which case when I got to the get to the end of the ridge, that would be the way I'm going up, and then maybe this beast is Grasmoor, the hopefully final Wainwright of the day. Right, this is where the going on start getting really tough for quite a way. Down at the bottom here, the path bears off left, up here, then turns right. That's where this chap's coming running down. Reasonably easy to there, I would think. And then it's a steep climb up onto the top, and already you can see a couple of chaps up there making for a little notch in the centre of the picture perhaps. And then it flattens out for a little way before rising again to Whiteless Pike. But that's a view back down the valley from here, looking towards Crummock Water and Rannerdale Knots to the top left of the picture. Right, I've just got to the right hand turn, having a rest. And that's a great view back across to Rannerdale Knots and the wide green path that I've taken down over the ridge. So it's going to be a long, slow, steady march up here, and even slower up the next bit. Well, that's a lovely little breeze that's just getting up and taking a lot of the edge of this heat off. I'm on a nice little flat section at the moment, but I've got that beast to climb shortly, so it'll be a good long rest before I start the climb up there. Ooh, this is slow progress. That's as far as I've come. That's where I've got to go. Just over the top there is Whiteless Pike. I can't be too far off the summit of Whiteless Pike now, but this is the view I'm getting from this position here. As I said before, a little hazy today unfortunately, but nonetheless excellent views. I've just rounded a corner, and that's the view off to my right. I think just about the lower middle of the picture is possibly Causey Pike, but I can't be sure. And here I am at last, on top of Whiteless Pike. Oh. Oh. So it looks like another drop down and then another steep climb up afterwards. And sitting here on Whiteless Pike, just about to have my lunch. That would be the way up onto Wandope, up to there, and I think Wandope is at the end perhaps, can't be certain. and then it's another climb up onto Grasmoor, and then back down from Grasmoor down this rather steep ridge here, and all along the bottom back down. Right, I've made a slight change of plan. I'm not going to have my lunch here on Whiteless Pike. I got talking to a couple who were on their way down. I don't think you'll be able to see them down in the dip there. So time's pushing on a little. I might just try and get up. I was considering not going up to Wandope, but let's give it a go. I might have my dinner up there if I can. Just didn't fancy another steep climb, I'll be honest. That's where I've come down from, the top of Whiteless Pike. That's some drop down there. And that's what's ahead of me. It doesn't look quite as intimidating as it did before, but I may be speaking out of turn. The rest of the climb there, and it's getting rather breezy now. It's most welcome. That's where I've just come down from. As I said, there's a couple of chaps just going up, starting at the pretty much the bottom of the climb up. I'm nearly at the top of the climb now, just having a rest, but there about in the middle of the picture is the Newlands Pass that I drove in on. It's an interesting drive. I think I'll probably be driving back out up the Hause Pass. It's a bit of a better road up there. But yeah, interesting drive down there. Well, I'm glad I came up that fell then. It wasn't as bad as it looked from the top of Whiteless Pike. So I've just branched off to the right now, and I'm heading up to Wandope. I could have missed Wandope out, but it's about one of the few, if not the only one in this area that I'm heading in that I haven't done. So I didn't want to miss out on that. So I'll get up there and then get across over it onto Grasmoor after. Getting going for this carry tour now here. Right, well here I am, approaching the summit of Wandope. I don't think I gave a height for Whiteless Pike. I'll do that after. And what a view this is from the summit of Wandope. This is a heck of a place to have lunch, although it is rather breezy. That's a real cracking view. And after lunch, that's the big wide path that I'll be taking up to Grasmoor. I imagine Grasmoor is on the centre of the picture now at the end of that climb there. So yeah, absolutely brilliant view from here. Just drop down after the wind and have some lunch, I think. Although I've just gone to sit here looking at this view. So that's Wandope done, 2,533 feet, and what a cracking view from up here. Just a pity that it's so misty today. Just about the centre of the picture now I would think is Great Gable. Pity you can't see that a little better. But yeah, hardly a cloud in the sky. Very breezy, but it's a welcoming breeze. It's taking a lot of sting out of the heat. So yes, off to Grasmoor now. And had a very nice lunch there, a sandwich, and a nice, very nice flapjack all the way from Wales. And here we are at the foot of the climb up to Grasmoor, and it looks quite a steady climb up here, so it'll have to be slow and steady as we go. And it's getting rather warm, and that breeze has just suddenly dropped. Up, and the path I've taken down to the bottom here, and my progress so far, and quite a little way further yet. And the further up that you climb, yet more mountains begin to reveal themselves off in the distance, off to the right. This is the progress I've made so far. Summit of Grasmoor is just a little further up here, and from here you can see the route I've taken up and over Whiteless Pike, and then down and up again, and then out across over onto Wandope, which is just on the corner here. It's about the centre of the picture now. Right, I'm almost at Grasmoor, and this path on the right when I'm coming back is a path I'll take down, a rather steep path down over Hause, back down to Hause Point. Yeah, I must admit the 3 months without a proper walk of this kind has taken its toll this afternoon. I think this, I have to admit, this walk's pushed me to the limit of my fitness at the moment, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I must admit, sitting on the top of Whiteless Pike, I wasn't sure that I wanted to go on any further. But fortunately the climb up from Whiteless Pike wasn't as daunting as it looked, and yeah, I'm glad I did it. So here I am approaching the summit of Grasmoor. I think it's a little further on actually. There's a cairn here, but I don't think this is the summit. But there's a nice view from the cairn. Down overlooking Crummock Water and Buttermere. So yeah, push on to the summit now. Just a little ahead of me up here, and here we are, the fourth and final summit of the day, Grasmoor.
No, I've eaten all mine.
That's the summit shelter, and there's another little shelter down here which is rather intriguing. Just a little bit off the summit. What a view there is from here. Here we go, and that's what you get from here. As I said, on a clearer day this would have been superb, but as it is, it's pretty darn good. So this is Grasmoor, 2,795 feet. As I said, the last summit of the day. There is a little cairn just a little further along. I might just go and have a look at that, see what kind of view you get from there. It looks like a half decent view, I think. So yeah, I'll go a little bit further. Yep, that's the view you get from the cairn here. And that body of water down there is Hause water. And again, lovely view off to the right. And off to the left. Over to Melbrake. And from the cairn, that's the view back up to the summit of Grasmoor. Right, I've had my fun up on the top of Grasmoor. It's time to make my way back, and as I said, I'll be just branching off right down over Hause, Now that is rather steep, I believe, so I can't say I'm overly looking forward to that. But I bumped into a chap on the top of Whiteless Pike today, and we were discussing the merits of Snowdon, and we both agreed that you know, there'll be thousands up there today. You'll be queuing for an hour to get to the summit. I've been up here in the Lake District, 4 terrific summits, okay, none over 3,000 feet that Snowdon is, but 4 great summits, wonderful views, and I met a handful of people. So I don't know, Snowdon isn't for me, I don't think. As beautiful as it is, and as exciting as it is, I don't fancy slogging my way up there and standing in a queue for an hour just to get a few seconds on the top of the fell, top of the mountain. And here we go, down over Hause, and it starts off very benignly, but I believe it gets really steep a little further down, quite a way, before levelling out somewhat. So the camera may have to go away at some stage. Right, well that's the easier bit done. Now comes the hard bit. So as I said, I think the camera's going to have to go away for a while. I may just need both hands coming down here. But again, I'm getting closer now to the route I took up from Whiteless Pike. Well, hopefully the path down is getting a little easier now. But that was, yeah, not very good coming down. And that's another one that will go on the list of descents never to make again. But as I said, it seems to be getting a little easier. I hope I'm not tempting fate. Well, there you go. That's the drop down. And woohoo! Level ground and grass underfoot. I don't know how long it'll go on for, but it'll do for me. And that's where it all started, round about 9:30, 9:45 this morning, the summit of Rannerdale Knots and the ridge I walked across. And although the path got easier the more it came down, the more it dropped, the more the wind dropped as well, and it got really warm. But fortunately now I'm at the bottom, the breeze has picked up again. So that's rather nice. So I'm making my way down now, eventually to the road. You see some cars down in the bottom there. That isn't Hause Point, I don't think. I think, yeah, Hause Point is just at the very foot of Rannerdale Knots, somewhere around here. That's where I parked the car in the recessed parking area. So I should be glad to see the car. And I think I've earned a pint at the nearest pub that I come to that I can park at. Pint of shandy, that is, drink responsibly. That sounds like an advert for don't drink and drive. So yes, I'm looking forward to that. and that will no doubt be gone in no time. Well, hopefully you can hear the water and not see it in this gully down below. A little bit of a cascade down in the middle of the picture now, but that's really nice and rather steep. And I'm getting further and further away from the car, unfortunately. She's over there. I'm going to come on out on the road down here somewhere. And this last bit of the walk has reminded me quite a lot of the descent down from Grey Crag near Hause. Steep but grassy. So yeah, it's been a long, hard walk down. This is it. I think the old knees are going to be out of commission for 2 or 3 days possibly. But stunning views all the way, absolutely beautiful, and Crummock water glistening in the afternoon sun. Well, as you can probably imagine, there's no way that I thought that this video would end up like this. But I'd had a lovely walk, I've done 4 great Wainwrights, met some nice people, and yeah, things were going well, until they weren't. Just shortly after I'd done my last bit of filming, I did something rather stupid, really, as a result of which, because of the heat, the stress, and the sheer physical effort, I became severely dehydrated, and not only couldn't I finish the walk properly, I couldn't get to my feet, so I was struggling, and I was wondering how I was going to get on. Fortunately, I carry a whistle with me just in case of emergencies, and I blew that several times, goodness how many times, but obviously there was no one in earshot. So I started to get a little worried. As I said, I tried to get to my feet a few times and I couldn't do. I was just physically shattered. So I just lay there for a while and tried to rest. I finished off the rest of my liquid, had some Kendal mint cake which I fortunately brought with me. But it got to a point where I thought I'm going to have to ring someone for help. And it was then that I realised that somewhere in the last half hour my phone must have fallen out of my bag and I'd lost it. So that's when a bit of panic started to set in, really, I suppose. I didn't know what I was going to do. Nobody was coming along, it was a reasonably quiet path. I just lay there in the recovery position for what seemed like about a half an hour, something like that, and then I thought, right, I've got to try again. So I managed to get to my feet, got my backpack, and it was then that I realised I was only a couple of 100 yards off a parking area. So I managed to walk along steadily for a little way, staggering along, and I got back to the car park, fortunately. Now, unfortunately there was no one about, but I managed to flag down a passing car, and the couple in that car kindly gave me a lift back to the parking area at Hause End. So I was grateful, really grateful for that. But I must also mention like a young lad called Nathan, who I met on my way back to the car park. Actually, he was on his way up the way I'd come down, and I asked Nathan if he would phone my wife, just explain to her briefly what had happened, tell her that I was okay, but I was going to be late home, which he did, I believe. And he also tried ringing my phone a few times just to see if he could find where it was, but without any luck. So I'm really grateful to Nathan for that, and as I said, for the couple who helped to run me back to the car park. So I guess the upshot of all this is, if I've learned anything, is that if things aren't going quite right, just take 5 or 10 minutes, just stop, think about what you're doing, don't just power on, and then just come to the right decision. So I consider myself very lucky, I must admit. As I said, I was really quite worried at the time what was going to happen, but somebody up there was looking after me, I think. So yeah, just be careful in future. So I'm sorry the video has been spoiled. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll watch on the next one I do, and maybe on that one I'll be able to finish off as I probably should do. Thank you again.